this podcast.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode on the Cast with Me. We're about to have another fire chat with a guest. On today's episode, our guest is a multi-talented lady. She's Okulor chimuanya Lilian, popularly called Muse, and also known as the Female King. She's currently a public health practitioner in VIEW. She's also fully into the media, acting, poetry, anchoring, event hosting, content creator and writer, on-air personality, voice-over artist. She has pre-worked for brands like Hot FM Owerri, 99.5 FM. She has also co-hosted and hosted shows, and she is a WDI Michigan communication mentor. Please, let's welcome Muse. So hello Muse, please can you say something to the listeners out there?
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Muse. Yeah, she just mentioned, and I'm really excited to be here. And I'm glad. I hope you learn from my journey and embrace this experience.
Thank you so much, Muse. So let's start up. Okay, then it's said that behind every great man or woman, there's a story to tell. So Muse, what's your story? How did you evolve into a multi-talented lady, despite being a student?
Okay, how did I evolve? Beginning of the year in school, that's 100 level, 200 level. I didn't know what I was doing. I was basically not doing anything, and it was disturbing because I usually hear stuff like, you're always agile, why don't you try this stuff, why don't you do this stuff? But I wasn't really sure what to do, so I focused on school instead. Then in 200 level, I've always been passionate about poetry and dance together with music. So I thought of creating something. A lot of people don't know this. I created a crew, something like that. I called it Truce because I was trying to call it truce between the different aspects of media, that's poetry, music, drama, and dance. I loved acting and I loved writing poems. So I tried to combine these four. I know a little about music and dancing, but I wasn't really into it. So I was trying to see if I would bring people in these different fields together. That was my first start. So that was how I started. Spoke to my close friends and a couple of people. It was going somewhere until everybody decided to everybody just splitted, and that was like the first heartbreak because I was like, okay, this is one thing I thought of that I could do, and then it did not work out. Funny enough, they say I don't like using it, but I think every disappointment is more like an appointment. So from there, I met these guys, Hop TV. There used to be this online TV stuff in school here. So they're like, Muse, we've seen your true stuff. Have you considered presenting? I'm like, no, this is different from presenting. And the guy was like, if you can gather people and form this stuff and they believed in you and you guys actually start working, why don't you try presenting? We're going to coach you and all of that. So that was how I started. If he listens to this stuff, he's going to laugh because forget that I'm like this. I used to be very shy. If I'm on camera and then with the mic, if I make a mistake, and that's just it, I'll cut there. So from Hop TV, I thought of it, I'm like, every single time we're recording, to be hell and hell with Muse, because they'll cut, and cutting like that to make it tired. Everybody just be tired, and sometimes they don't even record again. So I had to talk to myself. I'm like, if you really want to do this stuff, you have to practice, you have to push yourself, because nobody's going to push you. They'll only try their best, and if they keep pushing you, they'll get tired, and look at you're getting tired too. So that was how I started. From presenting, I started recording on my own. I got to know about Anchor, downloaded it, and I'll just record random stuff. Then if you check my phone, check my recording, I'll just see random stuff, like I'm just talking to myself for minutes, hours. So that's how I started.
Wow, I mean, what a story with that whole true stuff. And I can imagine when you're trying to start up something and then all the effort and everything, and you feel like it's headed somewhere, then along the way everything just splits. I can only imagine.
And in fact, when they're your friends, and they're not even helping, like, it's really hard.
Oh, my sister. I want to say my own story concerning that. That's a very, very, it's really, really hurting, to be honest. And then like your sinner is headed to this particular path. Some people at that point, when everything has scattered, before they can get themselves back again, to want
Some
to
people just
continue.
end it there.
It's really, really difficult. But like you still kept on pushing on because you knew where you were headed. Very, very wonderful. Thank you so much, Muse. So how was defining your moments? I mean, like during this search, and what was your defining moment?
Okay. At some point, it was as if I was doing a lot of things at the same time. I started doing the whole voiceover stuff. I started podcasting. I was acting, doing poetry. It was too much.
Yes.
Like everything. Sometimes people in the lodge be like, today they do this one, tomorrow they do this one. You know, go like put your head for one place. And it was stressful though, trying to, okay, do you write? Yeah, today I have this writer stuff I'm doing, tomorrow I have this. It was really, I had to halt. Sometimes I do it a lot. Sometimes even till now, I halt and I try to think, okay, this is what I'm going to do this week. No matter how much it gets, I'll just focus on this one. So I had to think, and I'm like, what do I really want to do? I feel like I like talking.
Okay.
I like using my voice. So I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. Anything that regards using my voice, hosting, voiceover, since they're in the same field, and growing one is like boosting yourself into the other. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to focus on the voice first. Every other thing is secondary, but this is primary. So that was how I defined it, and like, this is what I'm going to do.
Wow, really, really wonderful. Okay, so defining that path, like what were your struggles and fears during this whole process? Even like when you were evolving, and how did you manage it?
We still didn't manage. Yeah, that's the truth. We're still managing because when my mom heard in my 300 level, when she heard all these things, when I went home, she was like, "They mad? Like, what are you studying?" That was the first question she asked me. I'm like, public health. She's like, okay. You're studying public health and you took the public and left the health. What's going to happen to you working in the health center and all of that stuff? And I'm like, really? Is this what you're supposed to say to me right now? So it was really tough because everybody felt like it's off what you're doing, is off your career, and you heard talks like, are you even sure what you're doing? Are you sure this is it? The talks, the stress, you even thinking, okay, I'm not even sure what, questioning yourself and all of that, but we keep pushing. I already know that this is where I'm going. This is who I'm becoming, and what's my name? Muse. So that's like a highlight. That's like, even if I want to give up, you don't want to inspire people. Why are you Muse? Why do you even call yourself Muse? Sometimes I stay in my room and I shout Muse, and people be like, she don't come. They don't know why I do that, because sometimes it's getting into my head and I'm like struggling with thoughts, struggling with a lot of things. It's not working well. As a voiceover artist, I don't have my own studio and it's stressful. You go into someone's studio to record, and you know how it works now. So a lot of things, hindrances and setbacks, but we know where we're headed, so we keep pushing. We move.
Yes, we move regardless. Yeah. Okay, so now speaking of the name Muse, I was about coming to that question though. He said that every name has a meaning and what it stands for.
Yeah.
So, and then you have these two outstanding names, Muse and the Female King. So, want to hear the background story or the behind the scenes behind these names? What happened? Like, what really led to you having these names in Muse and the Female King? Because I mean, long before I actually thought your name was Muse. To be honest. I thought your name was Muse, not until like I met you at the Okulor Academy, where we had this voice over training, and then you were saying that you were not telling us the story of how Muse going. I'm like, I don't understand. I thought Muse, because everybody knows you as Muse.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to just have that name like as your brand and leave your real name? Please, what happened? What's the story behind it?
I didn't leave my real name, please. My name is Okulor, chimuanya, Lilian. But before I defined my path, I picked that name 100 level.
Okay.
So, Muse. Okay, I watched a movie actually. So I liked the character. I saw a part of me in that person. He had a lot of things going on. At some point, it was as if he didn't even know what he was about. But then he decided to find inspiration in himself and a couple of people around him. So at that point, I didn't know what I was doing. A lot of things were in my head. I started writing poetry. That was like one of the things I started doing first. I started writing poetry, and that was because I was thinking too much about my late twin brother. So at some point, I'm like, I know I'm going to be great. I know I'm going to inspire people. then I'm like, I'm my own muse. As a point, I'm like, no, that's going to be selfish, inspiring just myself. So I want to be everybody's muse, and I'm like, my name is Muse. That was first semester. People in the lodge, if you call me Chimuanya, I'm like, sorry, my name is Muse. I wanted it to get into everybody's head.
Yes.
So it to stick that you don't just call me Muse. You definitely ask what does it mean if you don't know. It's just a 4-letter word. So I'm like, I'm going to start from here. Now with this name, I'm going to define what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, and where I'm going to do it. So I started calling myself Muse, and I made sure everybody around me called me Muse. Even my dad. Funny enough, that's why it was hard for people to know if it was my real name or not, because my parents called me Muse. Sometimes my dad would be like, female king on phone. My friends would be like, hey. So that was how it started, and everybody started calling me Muse. It's just recently people started knowing my real name. Some people think, okay, in 200 level, I was writing attendance. Then one guy was like, guy, write your name now. See Judith, so I say, you know, write attendance a bit. I said, me, I don't write attendance. Because I read Muse day for a year. He now counted my face, like, wait, don't tell me you're Lilian. I'm like, yes, I am. He was like, come and explain to me how it all started. So that was how Muse came about. Now, the female king, I saw myself as, I didn't like the fact that if you check, it's majorly men that are in the media space.
Yes.
If you search media, top 10, you find at least 2 women. So I'm like, I should rule in everything I'm doing, aside being an inspiration. And now me being a king doesn't mean I'm a feminist, or I believe that a woman should be above a man. No, not that. I feel like I should rule in everything I'm doing. Media, whatever I find myself doing, let it be that this lady is outstanding. I'm a female, so a king is like one that rules. So that's how I got to know that, okay, yes, I'm the female king. The female king, not female king. That's why I always correct people. It's TFK. The T is the female king. So I should rule. I should be found really in anything I'm doing. I should not be, if I'm an inspiration, let it be Muse, the female king. Like, I'm ruling in that inspiration. I'm not drifting away. And the female king helps me to like set myself and know that, okay, you should rule. If you're not being this, then it's something is wrong. So that's how I came about the name, and people are calling me Muse, the female king. Yeah.
Well, what a wonderful story behind those names. Well, going on, you said something about your late twin.
Yeah.
Though we really don't want to go into the whole story of what happened, but we pray that his soul rest in peace.
Amen.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Okay, so moving forward, thank you, you're welcome. Now, you worked with the Hot FM Owerri.
Yeah.
Yes, where you owned a campus show. Like, that was real quick. So what's up with that? What happened? What really happened? What's the story on getting into the Hot FM radio station Owerri?
Okay, so during the lockdown, 2020 was really tough for me because I had the surgery that year. My phone crashed. You know that moment when you feel like you know what you're doing. I started this stuff every morning. I just record the 1 minute stuff. This transcribing stuff they do on Anchor. I just record 1 minute and then send it out. I just talk random stuff. I don't even have a script. I could just wake up and the thing in my head is go out there, be you, call someone. I just record it and I say it, and people were reposting it. So it felt good. And then the surgery came. After the surgery, my phone crashed. My phone crashing, I was getting an entry into William Davidson Institute to be a participant on the communication program. My phone crashing, I wouldn't have a phone to use. So then I had to use my younger brother's phone, and it was really stressful. My mom was always shouting, you're still recovering. Every time you're on your phone, now your phone has spoiled, you thought you rest, you're using your brother's phone, this, that. I don't like pity. I don't like if I'm doing stuff, you tell me rest a little. If I need rest, I'll rest. If I need rest, I know when to rest. I turned off my WhatsApp and people are like, is this pride or what are you doing? Okay. I'm resting. I'm redefining myself. I have plans for another season, so I know when to rest. So I didn't like all the things she was saying. So we finished the program in July and I'm like, I'm going to Owerri. OAP wasn't in the plan. Like it was never there. I didn't even know I was going to like venture into that stuff. So my mom was like, okay, where are you going to stay? I'm like, I'm going to stay in school, even if it means only me being in that school. I'm tired of hearing rest, drop your phone, do this one, do that one. So I thought of it. Okay, what? Funny enough, I searched funny stuff online. I just searched how to use your voice on Google. The first thing that popped up was OAP.
Wow.
At that point, I didn't really know the full meaning. So I checked, I'm like, on air personality. I didn't like Abba. So I'm like, I can't stay in this town. Me and this town, we don't go. I'm like, okay, the nearest place is Owerri. My mom was like, the first thing she said was, wait, who want give you transport? I started crying because I knew that, nothing there in the account. So I called my dad. My dad is like my biggest support system. Like, even if he's seeing that the water is pouring, he'll still tell you, pick it up first and see to not pour again, even if there are holes on it. So he's that kind of inspiration. So I called him off and I was crying and like, see what mommy said. What he told me was, what did she say? Who will give you transport? Think again. It means you've already gotten. So which radio station is that? How much is it going to cost? Your transport? Where are you going to stay? And that was it. I'm like, wow. I went to school. My friend, she stays in town. I told her I'm in school. She's like, school is dry. Come to our house in Obinzi. At least it's closer. We're going to figure it out together. And I went to her place and she followed me to submit the letter at Hot FM. I just thought, I wrote radio stations down, Hot FM, Rich FM. I'm like, okay, I'm going to start with Hot. If it doesn't work, I'll go to Rich. So I went there, I'm like, sir, I wrote the letter. When he saw me, I submitted a letter today. The next day, he was like, he wants to see this person. They called me and like, come. I went there and he's like, this girl, I want to be sure. That's why I called you. I want to see you. What are you studying? Photo, public health, radio. How? Please explain. Did you take the public and leave the health? I'm like, sir, I feel like I need to grow in this field, and if I'm taught, I've never worked in a radio station before and I sincerely want to learn, and if I'm really taught, if you're done teaching me, you could let me go. I just want to learn, I just want to gain this experience before school resumes. And he's like, okay, I like that. He's like, see, I know where to put you. You're going to be understudied you're going to understudy, this person is going to teach you that I'm going to understudy a presenter. He's like, I'm like, okay. So he's like, if you want to start today, fine. We already started. And that was it. I didn't know anybody there. I didn't have plans for it. I just thought of it, and then with situations around me and how I just submitted it, and that was how it started. The next month, he's like, okay, Muse, I want you to go on air, co-host this person. Next thing, this person is like, Muse, you know a lot about music. You know, I like how there's this women's show I co-hosted with this woman. She was like, I like the way you play these songs and the topic and everything, it rhymes. Co-hosted with this person. This person is like, come on my show, I'll pay for your lunch, I'll give you this one. That was how I started co-hosting. And then January, they're like, Muse, you should have a show, a campus show. Why don't you're a student, so you should know about all this stuff. And that was how I got my own show. That's how the whole thing started.
Wow. Man, I don't even know where to start from, because listening to her alone, like, she's really, really a source of inspiration. You know, when they say this is the audacity for me. No, to be honest, it's the audacity for me, because like, for you to, I don't know where the boldness came from. Like, you just finished a surgery, you were still trying to recover. Then you still had this, I must do it. And you still went forward. Your mom was even tell you, like, are you okay? You were still saying, oh, mom, please leave me, I beg. Like, I know where I'm going to.
If it's in the plan, it's in the plan. No matter what happens, the plan will always go ahead. So imagine this thing they do in army. Even if they lose one person, it doesn't mean they'll come back.
Yes.
They'll keep going. Then when they are done, they will not come back and find time to mourn. So that's how it is for me. Until I've achieved that stuff, then I'll find time and, okay, this is what happened, this is how I'm going to. You don't do things because this crashed, so I'm going to crash it here now. If it's in the plan, it's in the plan.
If it's in the plan, it's in the plan. So another thing that also stood out for me when she was speaking was the fact that she was always open to learning. So I was in one of these hangouts on Saturday, and the guest speaker also made mention of this thing. He said that growing up, don't just have one particular path or say, okay, this is what I want to do. Maybe I want to be a content writer, or I want to do this, I want to do that. Just one particular thing. That we should always be open to learning, like explore other career paths, yes. And then with that, he said you might be doing this now, but later in the future, you notice that thing that you were always doing
wasn't it.
is not what you're going to do in the future, or it's not what you find yourself doing later on in life. So that also stood out for me. You also like wanted to explore that path, despite you being in public. I mean, like, to be honest, it does not have any relationship. Health. It doesn't have any relationship. But like, you still wanted to explore that path. That's so wonderful. Okay, so aside, as a public health practitioner, what's good with that? Like, what are your plans as regards being a public health practitioner in view? Or are we just keeping that one aside for later, or what, or for the future to come? What's the plan as regards that?
Okay, this course I've studied is another story on its own, because I actually wanted to study food science.
Oh.
But on the day I was applying for JAMB, food science was not on my system. I tried 3 different systems. They couldn't find food science. They had to tell somebody to, like, okay, fill in your details. Just put food to first choice. She put it. Put food science. It came out. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try the system. And I tried. It wasn't there. I started crying. The man, you know how Lagos is. The man was like, whoa, that should do fast and come out to that. He doesn't even have time. That I've been here for like 1 hour and it's not working. That should make calls, call somebody in the school and tell them which other course. I'm like, but this is what I want to study. This has been in plan since I left secondary school. And he's like, I've told you my own. If you miss this slot, you have missed it. And I don't have strength for Lagos stress and all of that. So I called my sister. I'm like, it's not working. She's like, since that time, she said, okay, apply for my course. I said, I don't know anything about your course. How am I going to start? She's like, that's the only option I'm giving you since you don't have any other option. I said, okay, apply for public health. And here I am studying public health. I got to find out that there's an option that is similar to food science, public health nutrition.
Okay.
But I think I'm loving the course because it's about community service.
Yes.
So I feel like there's some, it also has to do with public speaking in a way, because you go out to educate people, sensitize them on a particular thing, and it's part of it, though it's not in view now, but much later.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what will come up, but then it's still there. My head is in the game and I'm doing well in the course. So yeah.
Pretty amazing. So being a student and involved in all these activities and jobs, how do you balance the both? Like, what's your routine like in balancing them? Because I mean, it's not easy.
Yeah.
So I want to like how you strike a balance between these two.
One thing I always tell myself is school came first, because it was in school I discovered this stuff. So it wouldn't be because I found this, I'll now dump this other one. No. So school is school. I have to get my good grades. I have to study. When it comes to studying, okay, you know that you have tests. Yes, every other thing that comes, you drop it. So I make sure I prioritize it. I know that school is going to come first, no matter what. I don't believe in school as scam, because it was if I wasn't in photo, I wouldn't discover all of this. I wouldn't know that, okay, this is what I'm doing. I wouldn't meet the brands that helped me and told me, okay, yes, you can do this. So I always balance it. If I have tests, I know that this period I'm going to limit whatever I'm doing. I'm going to know that, okay, this is for let me just finish this test before I know. Then exams, yeah, me and my phone, we don't even so I make sure I prioritize it. I know that school is going to come first regardless. So I try to balance it. I don't take up too much jobs. I don't involve myself in activities when I know that this is serious, this is coming up, especially when I got into 300, 400, this 400 level. I got to know that no matter how much, this is time to grow actually. But at the same time, if you don't build your grades now, it's going to be hard. Imagine calling yourself this whole talented person and your academics is not talented. It's not going to be impressive. So I try to balance it and know that this has to come first and this should go last.
So if you're listening out there and you're creative and you're also struggling with this whole school and work, learn how to prioritize. I mean, like, always put school first regardless, like she said. Just know that it was school that came first. Every other thing is secondary. Yes. So what or who is your inspiration?
I think, okay, it's not I think. I am my own inspiration. Because if I calculate how everything has been going from birth to now, I feel like it's enough to inspire myself to push. Because I've checked, nobody would inspire you. You're the best inspiration to yourself, no matter how supportive you have. My dad is really supportive. My siblings are they want whining and being serious. They can be supportive. I have friends that are supportive too, but you are your own inspiration no matter what. I inspire myself a lot. I tell myself that I started inspiring myself before I thought of telling other people, saying that these people are also going to be inspired by me. So I'm my own inspiration. I know where I'm headed. I know what I want to do. I know how far I want to go. I know that if I start being this way, it could affect a couple of other people, because I've already started inspiring, whether I like it or not. So I am my own inspiration. I tell myself, this is how you're going to do it, and this is how it's going to be. You don't need anybody to tell you. Then if someone tells you, fine, you merge it, but just know that you're inspiring yourself, and by inspiring yourself, you're pushing yourself, you're pushing other people too. So I am my own inspiration, and then God before me. So it's God and me first.
To be honest, like it's like you just said all these things to me, because like at some point I was also, how do I put it? I was also like feeling very down. And then like you said, you're the only person that can inspire yourself. Now someone came and met me like in those my down moments. Do you want to give up at this point? When people are looking up to you, this one, that one, blah blah blah. And I'm like, see, you don't understand the way you're doing me. You don't understand. But the person said, like, I just have to keep moving. Like you said, you're the only person that can inspire.
Yeah, sometimes,
if you're waiting for that person to inspire you.
Nah. Sometimes you just want to shut out. Sometimes you just want to be there. Sometimes it feels like I'm just going to give up on all of this stuff. But then if you give up on it, why did you start? You shouldn't have started if you knew you were going to like give up, because it's never going to be easy. No matter how easy it seems, we'll be like, you dey flex now, you dey chop your money, you be key. Nah, it's not going to be. Not only you know it with the face, it's only that know where it's pinching you. You can wear a very tight shoe and it's looking all flashy and all good, and everybody's like, they don't know that it's pinching you there.
They don't.
But you know that when you started, you knew. You have to know. There's no way you say you did not know that it's not going to be easy. So you have to embrace the fact that it's not going to be easy, and I'm still going to do this. But the thing you need to know is that even as an inspiration, sometimes you need to shut out and take a break. But you shutting out and taking a break, you have to know that you come back with double power than you started or where you stopped before, because it's not going to be easy and you need to hold sometimes. But let the inspiration double up every single time you take breaks.
Okay, I want to ask one question. It might sound very random, but I mean it's really important. This saying, if you want to go far, go with people. No. If you want to go far, go with people. Like we should not. Yes. How do they even draft it out?
Is it if you want to go far, you go with people, but if you want to go what you go alone?
Okay, yes. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with people. Please, like, how does that apply to all? I don't know how to put it. What do you have to say about this particular statement? Because I don't know. Maybe I've been so unlucky with this statement. This one I say you want to go far, go with people.
Okay, I get. Now, fast is alone, right? So if you want to go fast, the fast there is now you have the plans, right?
Yes.
You have the plans. You have where you want to go. You have what you want to do and how you want to do it. It's all you first before other people. That's one thing you should know. It all started with you before other people came along and then started believing in your dreams and let me work with this person. It's all you, regardless of how much team or how strong your team is. It's all started with you, and that's the fast, because you're the one that have the plan.
Yeah.
So you're the one moving fast with everything because it's all in your court. Now you going far is other people supporting you, other people giving you gigs and telling you other things, but you have the major. That's because you're the one moving fast with everything. The plan is all in your hands. So whichever way, if you want to combine fast and far, it's all on you, but you have to know that fast comes first. That is you. It's you first, regardless. The plan is yours. The plan is always, it has always been you. So it's you that knows how it's going to go. Then before you now join in with other people, and then that's how it is.
Wow, thank you so much for explaining that line.
You're welcome.
Okay, so what other career path would you love to explore? Moving on.
Gege. I'm sure this will shock people. I'm sure it's going to shock people, but
From the gig, we should really expect something.
okay. Other parts I would love to explore. First is music.
Gege.
First is music because I write. So those times I start writing, I wrote a couple of songs, cover of songs. Nobody has seen it. Nobody has heard it. No, don't see. My cousin was like, "Why don't you write and sell it?" I said, "No. What if later I want to use it? What will not happen? Leave it for me. When I need it, I have jotters. I keep my jotters in my shelf. When I need it, I'll go there and pick it up." So music here, not because I think, but because I've tried. I love mashup music a lot. You know this mashup where you try to combine songs or use a song to tell a story. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I've written a couple of mashups too. Nigerian mashups, American mashups. I've even combined Nigerian and American mashups. I showed it to one guy in my lodge one time. He was like, "You know, go like go studio. Should you they go studio? You know, go like go meet producer." And I'm like, no.
Your neighbors,
now.
to be honest, like that. They're really good.
Then I'm like, no, not now. He saw the mashup and okay, so music is like one, then dance. I've met this guy. I don't know. I see him a couple of times, and I think he's guilt tripping. That was in those times I was trying to define what I was going to do. So I told him, guy, whenever we come for drama rehearsals, they do their dance rehearsals near also. I see the way he moves and it's just natural. I told him, Siba, sure you will not teach me like this. I wasn't online then. He was like, okay, he'll call me. He took my number. I wasn't on my phone that day. He never called till today. And if he had called, probably, I don't know, I wouldn't have discovered other things too. So I feel like, okay, it's like, it was supposed to happen. Yeah, it was supposed to happen. So dance is another thing. If it's not music, it's dance. Or both of them, but we'll get there. When time comes, I'm not going to know.
Thank you so much, Miss, for answering that question. Okay, so as an OAP, that's an on-air personality, and a voiceover artist, what's next for you? Where do you see yourself in these areas?
Okay, where do I see myself? If I'm to work with brands as regards on-air personality stuff, the two brands I have in mind, Lagos is the location. Cool FM and Beat FM. Now, I love their presenters, and if you check, entertainment in the East and in the West, it seems different a lot because of the way artists take these things. I've heard an artist say why they don't like coming down to the East is because they feel like these people don't know their worth or these people don't take them seriously. So that's why I'm like, it's either I go there, observe, and then come back here and rebrand it in the Southeast, or however process is going to be, but we have to change that mentality. We have to let them know that they could, the way they have multiple shows and then they come into radio stations and every day you hear that Davido is a Beat FM or Arasta or this person different. It has to be the same here. Why is it not the same here? So we need to like go out there. So serious with what? Where is the serious? Okay, so OAP, Beats FM, Cool FM. Then I'm actually thinking TV, and I'm looking at MTV Base because then these brands and their presenters. Let me just mention a few I keep mistaking. I don't know if Simi Dre is from Cool FM or Beat FM. She's a presenter, and then Kemi Smalls. These presenters are fire. And then look at Ehis from MTV Base. Don't worry. We'll meet these people. So these are the places that I would like to like see myself.
Okay.
In, let me not give duration, but let's keep moving.
Yes, we move regardless.
Yeah.
Okay. So as a voiceover artist, how do you market or sell your voice to brands? Like, how do you get these brands to see you and want to reach out to you to do voiceover work for them?
Okay. My I don't want to call it my policy, but my policy is whatever opportunity I get, I try to make use of it. So I don't wait to, most of the time you wouldn't even see what I post online. So I don't wait to like post something before somebody will like, oh, it's nice. Whenever I get the opportunity to like talk, or it could be as a joke. I've done something. I was talking with someone, I just said, okay, let's get back on track. You're listening to Muse the Female King, and somebody was like, wait, did you just do that stuff? And I'm like, yes. He's like, you do voiceovers, right? And that was how he told his friend that needed the clothes, an advert for a brand, and they needed to script it, and that was it. So even my friends, when they make videos, funny videos, I'm like, hi, it's a girl. She posted it and I got a job through that stuff. So
Wow.
I don't really wait to record. Most of the time, you wouldn't even see what I record, but every opportunity, if I'm talking with people, I'll make sure you know that this is what I do. And you even hear it, not just knowing. You hear it naturally. Then imagine when I enter the studio.
Fire.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, can you give a rundown of your highlights in order of how they emanated till your major highlights currently?
Okay. It all started with the lockdown, Hot FM, then the communication model. Now the communication model, I've not really talked much about it, but it's a communication program sponsored by Ford Motors. Other university.
Ford, my dream car.
William Davidson Institute of Michigan. It's a school in Michigan. So Ford sponsors them, and they get to bring students from different parts of the world to learn communication. We do tasks together, we have quizzes we take, watch videos, and we get to work together. So now they're trying to create this space where students from different parts of the world can work together. I got to know from a friend. I didn't have a phone when I applied, but then the next year I got to check my mail when I got my phone, and I saw that I was
Shortlisted.
yes, for the program. So from being a student, the next year they sent me a mail that they wanted me to mentor students for the same program I applied. I ran the previous year, and again that was in April 2021. Then September they also mailed me again that they wanted me to mentor again for a new program they launched. And it's really been blissful working with people from different parts of the world, because I've learned a lot. You know that emotions, there's a lot to communication that people don't know. People think communication is just passing a message and then receiving or getting feedback. It's beyond that. Emotions affect communication. Probably, okay, let me take this for an instance, but that's not how it is. Imagine you called me, and because you're not my friend and you're like, I want you to record, I want you to feature in my series, and I'm like, this person is not even my friend. We're not even in the same department. I don't even know if we've had a 5-minute conversation before, so I don't even know how it's going to be. Anyways, let me just think about it. Because of that lag, I might just decide to let it slide or tell you I have other things I'm doing. I'm sorry, I can't make it. That's my emotion affecting that communication there. So there are a lot of things that could hinder it. Even culture, people's culture can affect communication. So I got to learn a lot in that period, even as a student and as a mentor. And it's really blissful. Imagine you're working on a project. If it's in Nigeria, the deadline is Sunday. And let's say for that 6 weeks, a particular person was not really active. The person just comes on the group to drop whenever the person wants to and leaves. Do you know that the deadline was Sunday, the last week? They waited for this guy that has not been active to come online. I had to watch. I was not. My job is just to guide them through and make sure they submit it. If they don't submit it, I'm not supposed to beat them, because I'm still going to get certified regardless. But I watched how they treated this person. They didn't treat the person. They even started bringing suggestions as to how or why he was not active, and I'm like, are you there?
Are you serious?
Are you there? Were you there? Are you in Ghana? You're in Puerto Rico, and you're suggesting that this could be what is happening to this person. They waited for this person until Sunday afternoon. I had to leave them. I'm like, oh, these people, I don't even know how they think. If it was in Nigeria, just be inactive for 2 weeks into the program. They're going to take you off the group chat and find a replacement.
True.
So I got to learn that communication this I think this is my major highlight for now, because I've learned a lot from these people. I've learned a whole lot from these people, how they behave, how they take people, how they work together. They always want to make sure that working together is worth it, even if you're not there. They always want to make sure that okay, we're trying to drag this person. And the guy, they waited for him till almost midnight. So what they did was, since the person that is submitting, they have to submit with the person's timing, and Puerto Rico is behind Nigerian time. So the person in Puerto Rico had to suggest that she submits it, so because by then, before he would submit, it would be past the Nigerian person's time that was supposed to submit it. So they just had to shuffle everything and make sure this person was part of the project and this person would also get certified, and that was it too. I think everything started last year when I joined the program, then Hot FM, then I started other things, but everything started with these two, Hot FM and Williams Davidson Institute of Michigan.
Wow. No, to be honest, this statement, we rise by lifting others, maybe it just applies in Puerto Rico. No, to be honest, because in Nigeria
It's not
we
just,
keep saying we rise by lifting others, but it's like we rise and we rise. We move.
we rise and rise.
We rise and we rise. Now we're not lifting other people, because for you to have said that, like, regardless, that guy did not meet up to time. Like, in fact, he was faulty in every
way. Like, it was
he was
annoying.
faulty in every way.
Sometimes he'll be on, like, he'll be the first to read the message,
Are
and
you serious?
and he will
Still
not
say
reply.
anything.
But still, they did not check all those things. So that's to show you that there's more to communication. There's more to a lot of things that we think we know, but we have no clue what they are.
Like, they saw that the guy was inactive, and they didn't want to, let's say, okay, just remove him or eliminate him like that from the group or whatever. They wanted to know why. In fact, they even gave reasons as to why he was not inactive. And like, the main thing was that they wanted to see him like get up from where he was or grow. Man, that's really, really rare to find, to be honest though. please, if you're saying we rise by lifting others, please start implementing it. It's not just by mouth. I beg in the name of God, please implement it, because it's not just enough to say we rise by lifting others, and people around you
They're not rising.
are falling and you feel like they should stay there or they should remain there. There's some persons that need push in this life. Like, you just need that. You need to push them before they are able to get up
and not just
and do what they are meant to do.
I'm not just concluding on the fact that this is what happened. Somebody might be, you see this stuff they say, people are glowing outside, but inside they're just you don't even know how they are on the inside.
True.
So this person might have reasons you don't know, or for reasons they can't see. So you don't just conclude. And another thing, people will be like, why don't you speak up? It's not easy. It might not be easy to tell you this is what is going on with me, or they don't even know how you're going to take it. They might be considering the fact that you too might have things on your list, so you don't just feel like, okay, this person is just being this way because the person wants to be this way.
That's another topic except on his own. Of opening up. It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy. No.
So that's just it. Let's rise and rise. Let's not just rise like puff and just be there. Not leave bones, to be honest.
Okay, so speaking of the WDI, the Michigan
Williams
Institute, how can one get into the whole institute? Like, is it on an opportunity desk or opportunity for Africa? Like, where can we find the application?
Okay.
So in case listeners or me myself want to apply, I can always apply.
Okay, how I got to know, they are Enactors inclined. I don't know. You should know Enactors.
I'm an activist.
Okay, you're Enactors.
Yeah,
So that year, how I got to know was my friend Zubi. She sent me the link. And I think since that year, the link has not gotten to Nigerians again.
Are you serious?
Because the second time I was mentoring that program, I could count out of almost 100, there were not up to 5 Nigerians there. Now, the third time, which was just concluded this November, I think I think there were only 2 Nigerians. So now, the good thing now is they are planning to launch a new program where they're going to involve Africans. So they've not yet given us feedbacks because they are still trying to structure the program and check how they are going to go about it, but it's centered on Africans. Now, they told us that they want us mentors to help them organize this program here in Nigeria, here in our various parts of Africa, because almost all the mentors were Africans. I was the only Nigerian, then they were Kenyans, they were Ghanaians, and South Africa. So now they want Michigan students to collaborate with African students, exchanging business ideas. So that's the whole aim of the program, to see these people work together, because in their survey, they got to find out that companies that go, if you check all these top companies, they are because they work with people from different parts of the world. They don't just limit to the fact that, okay, because this is Coca-Cola, so, and cola is majorly in Africa, if I'm not wrong. So let's have all our executives from Africa. So it's not going to work that way, because cultural differences too can give you instances or hints on how to go about this stuff. Emotions too, there are some cultures and countries that don't know how to express certain emotions. we got to learn that in the fourth communication. Like there's this country that don't know how to express anger. So imagine you're working with this person in a team and you're angry about a project not going well, and this person is just mute, and you might just start saying this person doesn't care, or it's because it has never been in their culture, so they don't even know how it means. You being angry, or why you're anxious or worried about a project not going well, they might not know how to express that. So they are trying to build that area where people from different parts of the world, both white and black, can get to exchange ideas, because what happens in your culture is different from what happens in another person's culture, and you merging it is going to bring a totally different idea that will be inspiring or impressive for the growth of the company. So if there's anything I relate to you, then if somehow I relate to them.
No problem, we move. Okay, so during this journey as Muse, have you ever experienced the imposter syndrome?
Yes. Even this morning. You will just come out as well and say, see how your hair just the white they go. I don't understand. Shouldn't the hair no white they go before? So sometimes it's too much, and you feel like if you don't do this stuff like this, you will just for yourself and for the people that are trying to like give you this rep. So I've been there, I'm still there, and I know it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. But one thing I know is that I'm not just pushing because I want to push. I'm pushing because I really want to inspire. And if I'm tired and you're there giving me the whole hypes and vibes, don't even know how they be me. If I want to take a break, I'll take a break when I want to. So I'm pushing because I really want to push, and I really know the plans I have for myself. Not because if you have this impression of me that I'm this way when I'm not that way, I will have me working is because I'm going to prove it, and it's come to limelight that okay, this person is actually this and more. So it's not just what you know or what you feel, it's going to be more. So I don't let me not say I don't care about it, but we move
regardless. So when you're not voice acting or being an OAP, what else do you do? What else do you find yourself doing?
I find myself writing. I find myself writing. This exam we had, pharmacology. I was tired. Sometimes in between exams, I just record myself and I'm like, God, this exam is so tiring. I can't wait to finish and all of that. I find myself writing. I wrote a poem out of, pharmacology is all about drugs and all of that. I just write. I try to use whatever that is around me to like write something. So if I'm not voice acting or writing or I'm even acting, I have rehearsal soon.
No problem. Thank you so much for answering that question. So finally, before we wrap up this episode, as a source of inspiration to young people, what would be your word to people listening? Probably students too, who want to venture into your career path, or probably who has not even defined the path yet.
Okay, so I'm not going to come with any motivational speech or quotes, but the thing is, you know yourself better than anyone else. You know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, you know how far you want to go. It's okay not to even know what you're about, because in my 100 level and 20 level, I had no clue of what to do. But I didn't rush it. I didn't feel intimidated because I had already told myself that I know where I'm going and I know that I'm going to be great, and whatever it is I'm going to do will come to me someday. So I just don't have to stay idle. I have to like search deeper and look inside myself and know that, okay, Muse, what is it? Pray too. God helps. I told myself that then when it was looking all choky and I was just blank, I'm like, God, please, I want to work for you. And if I work for you, I know you're going to help me work for myself and work for what I should work for. So I found myself in drama rehearsals. I joined activities in church. I did not just stay idle since there was nothing to do, no career path. And that was how it started. I started acting, and before I knew it, I knew that, okay, I could be outspoken too. I could help people take corrections and all of that. So you know yourself better. Fix yourself. Whatever you believe in, God, whatever religion it is, fix yourself there. Try to make sure that you have God by your side, and then don't rush anything. It's just you, because the worst thing I can tell you is try to follow my own, maybe how I started or how it started for me. It might not work for you. You just have to take it slow and think it through. Is this going to work for me? Then back it up with prayer. You're definitely going to figure it out. No rush. Just don't make sure you're not trying to copy someone else, because you copying someone else is going to make you lose focus of who you should be, and it's going to be wrong trying to be someone else. So you're going to find it. Don't rush it. You're going to find it. Just pray and then have plans. Don't just pray and because you don't have it figured out, you just sit there. No, have plans. Search random things. If you like using your voice, you could just search random things. If you like dancing, follow people, look at stuff. By me looking at stuff or checking other people's stuff, you could sit and I should try something like this. And now you go inspire yourself, honestly. Now you go inspire yourself. That's all I have to say. You do it and you can do it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So now you go inspire yourself. Thank you so much, Miss, for coming on to this episode. We're really excited to have you at the Cast with me. We look forward to doing more and more interviews with you and more episodes. Thank you so much. So it's a wrap, guys, now. See you next time. Bye.